Your neighbor's dog just bit a guest at your backyard party, and you didn't even own it. Ever wonder how a dog you've never touched can become your legal problem? Today, I'll explain dog bite liability like you're 5 years old. By the end, you'll understand exactly who pays, when you're off the hook, and the one mistake that turns a property owner into a defendant. It's a Saturday afternoon, your kid's birthday party, 15 people in the backyard, music going, cake on the table, the whole thing. A perfect day, until it isn't. Your neighbor's golden retriever gets through a gap in the fence and charges straight across your yard. It bites one of your guests hard enough to draw blood, hard enough that someone's calling an ambulance. The dog runs back home, and your neighbor has no idea it even happened. Now you've got a guest in the hospital and medical bills piling up. You've got a lawyer's business card being handed to you in the emergency room, and you've got one question eating at you the whole drive home. This wasn't my dog, so why is my name on anything? Here's exactly how this works in the eyes of the law. Dog bite law in the United States runs on two completely different tracks depending on your state. The first track is called strict liability, and the second is called the one-bite rule. The track your state is on changes everything about who owes what, and the financial stakes are not small. The Insurance Information Institute reports that dog bite claims cost insurers over $1 billion every single year in the United States. Think of strict liability like a restaurant that makes someone sick. Doesn't matter if they followed every health code. Doesn't matter if they had no idea anything was wrong. Someone got hurt eating their food. They pay. That's exactly how strict liability works for dog bites. The dog bites someone, the owner pays. Full stop. No excuses, no, but I didn't know. California, Florida, Illinois, and more than half the states operate exactly this way. The one-bite rule is different. Same restaurant, but now you only owe money if a health inspector had already flagged your kitchen. The one-bite rule says the owner is only liable if they had prior warning their dog was dangerous. That warning could be a previous bite, aggressive lunging, growling at strangers, or documented complaints from neighbors. First offense with no prior warning on record? The owner might actually walk away without owing a dime. Texas and Virginia are among the states that still follow this approach, which is why knowing your state's rule matters before anything else. In one-bite rule states, courts look closely at what the owner actually knew and when they knew it. The distinction between a neighbor who had a feeling their dog was aggressive and one who received a formal written complaint can be the entire difference between liability and none. More than half the states use strict liability, and about a dozen use the one-bite rule. Some mix both, and none of that, yet, puts anything on you. So where does your name come from? Here's the part almost nobody talks about. There's a concept called premises liability. It says this: if you own or control a piece of property, you have a legal responsibility to keep it reasonably safe for people who come onto it. Think of your property like a hotel. You can't predict everything, but you are expected to know about obvious hazards and deal with them. A broken stair you've ignored for months. A pool gate that doesn't latch. That's on you. Now apply that to the birthday party. If you knew your neighbor's dog had gotten into your yard before, if you knew the fence had a gap and never fixed it, if someone had told you that dog was aggressive and you threw a party anyway, a premises liability claim starts to take shape. Not because the dog was yours, because you controlled the space where the bite happens. Courts ask a straightforward question: did you know, or should you have known, that this hazard existed? If yes, the follow-up is just as direct. What did you do about it? A fence gap you noticed last summer and never repaired tells a very different story than a gap that appeared the morning of the party. The law draws a sharp line between ignorance and indifference, and which side you fall on can determine whether you walk away clean or walk away paying. This is the plot twist. You didn't own the dog, but you owned the stage where the attack played out. Before you start spiraling, your neighbor is almost certainly the primary target. In a strict liability state, the moment that dog bites someone, the owner is on the hook automatically. Guests' medical bills, pain and suffering, lost wages, the neighbor's insurance pays first. The average dog bite insurance claim in the United States now exceeds $50,000, and serious injuries push that number far higher. But here's what the injured person's attorney is also going to do. They're going to look at every possible source of recovery. That's their job, and they're good at it. You're on that list, especially if you have homeowner's insurance. Think of homeowner's insurance like an umbrella. Standard policies often include personal liability coverage. If someone gets hurt on your property and sues you, your insurance defends you and can pay out if you lose. Most standard policies carry at least $100,000 in personal liability coverage, and many go up to $300,000. That coverage exists whether the hazard was your dog or someone else's. So the scenario isn't necessarily you pay out of pocket for someone else's dog. It might be your insurance handles it. But that only works if you actually report it. Here's the mistake property owners make. They assume that because the dog wasn't theirs, they don't need to do anything. They don't call their insurance company. They don't document the incident. They figure the neighbor will handle it. 6 months later, a lawsuit shows up with their name on it. And now they're scrambling to build a case from memory, while the other side has everything organized and ready. Your neighbor's insurance company has claims adjusters who do this every day. You should not be winging it either. Here's exactly what to do the minute a bite happens on your property, even if it wasn't your dog. Document everything immediately. Photos of the scene, photos of the injury, photos of that fence gap if one exists, names and contact information for every witness. Write down every detail while it's fresh. What time it happened, where exactly the bite occurred, who saw it. Memory degrades faster than people expect. Then call your homeowner's insurance carrier and put them on notice, not to file a claim yet, just to report that an incident occurred. Most policies have a reporting window, and missing it can compromise your coverage entirely. Then call animal control and make an official report. That report creates a paper trail that ties the bite to the dog, and the dog to the owner, building the record that keeps liability where it belongs. Animal control reports also trigger an investigation that can uncover prior incidents tied to that dog, which suddenly become very relevant to the overall case. One more thing most people skip. Check whether your neighbor actually has renters or homeowners insurance. Their policy likely covers dog bites even when the bite happens off their property. Some policies exclude certain breeds. Pit bulls, Rottweilers, and German Shepherds are commonly listed. If they're uninsured and the judgment goes against them, collecting that money becomes a whole separate problem. Now back to that Saturday afternoon. The neighbor's dog bit a guest on your property. Neighbor is on the hook, automatically in most states. Their insurance responds. The claim against you exists only if there's evidence you knew the risk was there and ignored it. No prior incidents, no known fence gaps, no complaints about that dog. Your exposure is minimal, but you report it, document it, and call your insurance anyway. Because a weak claim can still cost you money if you're not ready for it. Your neighbor isn't just an awkward conversation anymore. They're a liability that walked into your yard. Now here's the question I'll leave you with, and it's a good one. If that same dog had bitten your guest on the sidewalk outside the fence instead of inside your yard, would any of this change? Drop your answer in the comments, because the answer flips something you just learned completely on its head, and it's more interesting than you'd expect.